Welcome to the Blaffer Courtyard, the official podcast of the Blaffer Art Museum at the University of Houston. This platform is uniquely focused on providing an inclusive discussion space for art lovers to expand their understanding and appreciation for the arts. The Blaffer, founded in 1973 and located on the campus of the University of Houston, endeavors to further the understanding of contemporary art through exhibitions, publications, and public programs. As the gateway between the University of Houston Central Campus and the City of Houston, Blaffer's mission is to create experiences with contemporary art and artists that ignite wonder and curiosity, challenge preconceptions, and expand ways of seeing, thinking, in order to nourish the human spirit and drive empathy, understanding, and engagement with today's world. This episode's music introduction is a song entitled DKK, produced by DLC Ninja, a Houston-based artist and producer. You can find more about DLC Ninja or follow him on socials on YouTube at DLC Ninja, that's one word, DLCNIJA, or on IG at DLC-Ninja, that's DLC-NINJA. Thanks so much and enjoy today's show. Welcome to the Blaffer Courtyard. My name is Tony Evans. I lead design and digital resources at the Blaffer Art Museum. We're recording today in the beautiful studios at Coug Radio on the University of Houston campus. Thanks so much for listening and joining in with us today. As this is our inaugural podcast episode, we felt that it was fitting to the theme to discuss not only our new museum venture, our new exhibitions on view here at the Blaffer Art Museum, but also what the idea of a new beginning means for students as they embark on a new academic year. I mean, who doesn't like a fresh start, a chance to reset, or a new beginning? And as new beginning will be the theme of our conversation today, joining me are three U of H students who will share their unique perspectives on a new beginnings facing their academic courses, career choices, as well as the concept of new beginnings expressed in our present exhibition. Joining us today are Kalyn Edwards, Bosola and Wura Olayemi. Kalyn Edwards is a senior at U of H with an associate's degree in studio arts. She's set to graduate in spring 2026 with a bachelor's in art history and an arts minor. Kalyn is also an intern and gallery attendant at the Blaffer Art Museum. Kalyn, you want to say hi?
Hello.
How you doing?
Doing pretty good.
Would you mind sharing an interesting fact about yourself?
I can sleep for really long spans of time.
So are we speaking more than 8 hours?
Yeah, I'm like 12 to 17.
12 to 17
Wow.
hours of sleep.
Yeah.
And is that just, you've always had that skill or?
Yeah, I think of it as a gift. I probably should get it checked out, but I'm not really worried about it right now.
It's fine. I mean, it seems like you're a functioning adult at this point, or a semi-adult. So,
Yeah.
That much sleep, I think it's fine. I feel like a lot of people would probably be jealous that you could sleep that long.
I know.
Yep.
Okay.
Bosola is a senior at the Bauer School and studying management information systems. Bosola is also the director of the Blaffer Art Museum Student Association. Bosola is also a Blaffer intern in administration, finance, and installation. Want to say hi?
Hi.
So, as Kalyn shares something interesting, would you, Bosola, be also able to share something interesting about yourself?
Fun fact is, I was born in Ireland, and I moved here when I was 7.
Okay, so how was Ireland for the first 7 years of your life?
Very small, rainy, and then sunny sometimes.
Sunny sometimes. So like every few days or every month it was sunny, or how?
At least once a week.
The sun would come out.
Mhm.
So we have a professional sleeper, an Irish national at 7 years. And then next we have Wura Olayemi, who is a junior at U of H studying biochemistry, but will be attending pharmacy school next year. And Wura is also the vice president of the Blaffer Art Museum Student Association, BAMSA, and is also an intern at the Blaffer this summer. Any interesting facts about yourself, Wura?
I just quit my job
Okay,
and I'm happy.
nice. What
Not this job, obviously.
Not this job, no.
what type of job was it?
I worked at a salad restaurant.
Salad restaurant. So
Yeah.
you're. I think that's part of the theme, new beginnings, right? You're excited about no more salad, and you're excited about what's next after the salad restaurant.
Yes.
I like that. Well, thanks for checking in, Kalyn, Wura, and Bosola. And before we kind of hear from them about their perspective on new beginnings, their viewpoints on the upcoming academic year, their sort of assessment on the exhibitions and the objects on view, we wanted to give a little summary of what's on view at the Blaffer before we kind of get into the discussion. And so earlier this summer, we opened 3 exhibitions at the Blaffer Art Museum, which are all currently on view. There is A Way to Men, an exhibition curated by former U of H student Doug Welsh, which presents the recent work of 19 Gulf Coast artists whose work engages relationships between abstraction and landscape and whose practices connect art with processes of healing. A Way to Men is on view through September 27th. Next is an exhibition titled Cuidado, featuring the work of X Arriaga Cuellar and Adan Valchillo. Cuidado emerges as a video installation composed of performance works that center migrant caregivers from Honduras. The project offers a critique of the labor exploitation present in the service industry, manifesting in long hours, excessive responsibilities, unpaid labor, and low wages. Cuidado is on view through September 27th. And rounding out the trio is a solo exhibition entitled Safe Azuz, Keat, Higelpa, The Water is Rising. This exhibition interrogates the privatization of land, water, and natural resources within settler colonial systems. Across a range of mediums, Azuz references the myths, origin stories, and fabricated tales animating the land we now call Houston. This exhibition is on view through December 20th. And so I think we'll start with you, Rura, as far as helping us to consider new beginnings, right? And so again, we asked the question, like, who doesn't like a reset? Who doesn't like a new beginning? Who doesn't like the ability to have a fresh start? And so could you please kind of give us some background, one, on what new beginnings are on the horizon for you, right? So you're studying pharmacy, you quit your job, you have a new academic year ahead for you. You know, what new beginnings, are you looking forward to, and what new beginnings are you preparing for?
I'm looking forward to not being as stressed
Okay.
because that job really stressed me out,
Yeah.
and having more free time to like think about my career and do things that will like better my career and help me in the future. And um, my classes this semester are going to be really hard, so I need a lot of time to study and like fix my study routine so it works and isn't horrible.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you were working at a salad restaurant. Could you kind of give us the last straw for you? Like, it's time.
Um, we have to do like deliveries sometimes, and they're like, okay, where I go deliver these like 6 bowls. So it's downtown, so I like walked a few blocks and I went to deliver. Then I realized I forgot the forks. So I called my manager. I said I forgot the forks, but she doesn't want to send someone. So like I have to go and come back. And like I have my Owala, but I already drank like 75% of it, and it's already like it's only 10:30.
Yeah.
But I got there at 7. But I come back and it's really hot, so I'm like, okay, let me just get water from Chick-fil-A.
Right.
And then I get there, and the general manager, he said, you can't do that.
You can't do what?
Like you have to get here as quickly as possible. We need you in the store. And I said, I have no water, and they don't give us free water.
Yeah.
They make us pay for water. So like I'm not gonna pay for water at work. And he was like expecting me to say sorry, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna say sorry. And also the place was really dirty. Yeah, I won't say too much.
No, that's cool.
Not
That's
too
cool.
much, but yeah.
No, I think more so than anything, I feel like there's a lot of students who are kind of in your boat, right? Who are, at a job, not necessarily the best place for them, but they're preparing themselves for the future, right? So you talked about now this job gives you space to prepare for that path that you really want to be on. And I wonder if you could kind of share, you said you're studying pharmacy, going into pharmacy school next year.
Yeah,
Or not?
so
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm like applying right now. I need to get all my recommendation letters. I need to volunteer more,
Mm-hmm.
shadow, and I'm also looking for a job that's like relevant to pharmacy.
Gotcha.
So I have more time to do that and like also just relax and like be in a better headspace.
I got you. That's fair. Um, so I think we'll talk about new beginnings, and then we'll kind of go into I think your attitude as far as new beginnings for the exhibitions. We can sort of have like a first part is maybe more practical as far as your academic year, and then the next part we can speak about the art projects and the art exhibitions. Bosola, do you want to share your outlook for new beginnings? What new beginnings mean for you individually, looking forward, what are you looking forward to for this upcoming academic year? I mean, as a senior, this is your last go around, so like what's on deck for you?
Well, since I am graduating next spring, I'm gonna have to start preparing to find a job. So every year, the Bowers School, they have a really big career fair in the beginning of the year. I think it's in September. So my plan is to actually start researching companies and prepare my little elevator pitch so I can start like going for these jobs and go into the real world. So like that's one part of my new beginning. And then another new beginning is also with I'm gonna be living here on camp in the lofts, but I'm gonna have a single room. I'm not gonna have a roommate.
Party in Bosola's room.
Because last semester my roommate was awful. So I'm very excited to have my own clean space. And I'm really excited about that.
So new beginnings of a new career that you'll be embarking upon, a new living space, a new outlook. And remind us again, what is the course or what degree you'll be graduating in?
Management information systems.
Management information systems. And so, as far as what problems are you trying to solve with that, I guess, expertise, or with that sort of like course pathway?
So actually this semester, these next 2 semesters are actually course heavy in MIS.
Yeah.
All the other courses I took last semester were just general business classes.
Mm-hmm.
So this year I think I'm actually going to learn what I'm doing.
Right. And as far as the career title or job title, is there a specific title or that you're targeting?
Really, like it's since there's so many things to choose from, I'm not really sure yet. I know you could do project, like it's really palatable. So you could do like project management. You can basically do anything. So I'm not really sure what I want to do yet. I'm looking.
All right. Any other exciting new beginnings for you coming up? This academic year, just personally, any milestones that you're looking forward to?
Oh yes, I'm getting rid of most of my clothes. I had a problem with shopping. So in my house, there's a guest room and it's supposed to be empty, but it's actually filled with all the clothes I don't want. And this summer, I've been selling all of my clothes, donating it, the ones I don't wear, and I'm very proud of myself.
Nice.
I'm restarting my wardrobe. Not restarting completely. I'm just keeping the things I really like and like getting rid of the stuff I just bought on impulse.
Yeah, so you're decluttering your impulse buys and you're kind of resetting your wardrobe. All right. Is there like a wardrobe that you're targeting? Like, what's your style? If you had to like to kind of sum it up in a few words.
Good quality. It
Good
can
quality.
last long, but also it looks nice.
Okay.
Like I have some things that are like I'm really addicted to buying dresses. So I have a lot of dress. I have like 10 dresses. But there's not like regular dress, it's like formal dresses,
got
like
you.
beaded dresses. So I have a lot of like older vintage beaded dresses. So yeah.
Okay, okay. Well, thanks for that perspective. Kalyn, so you have an associate's in studio arts, is that correct?
Yeah.
And then you're pursuing art history major and a minor in art. Could you give
Mhm.
us
Mhm.
an idea of kind of what new beginnings that you're looking forward to, or kind of what's on deck for you this coming up academic year?
Um. Obviously, the next fall semester starting at the end of the month. So, and this is the first time I've had. So I have 6 classes left for my whole
Yep.
degree plan. So I'm doing 3 classes and 3 classes. So this is the first time I've had less of a
Hmm.
workload for myself. Cause in community college I was doing like 6, 7 classes a semester because I could
Yeah.
and it was cheap. So and then when I got here I was doing 4 and 5 religiously. So um, I'm glad to have less of a workload this semester. Like to see what that's like.
Yeah. What type of courses are you taking of the six?
So since I'm in my senior year, I'm taking more targeted classes for my major, art history major. So I'm taking 20th century design, um pre Columbian art, I believe,
Hmm.
and um a classical class, a Greek classical class. I think is Homer to Hollywood,
Yep.
which is just for gods and Greek heroes,
Yep.
target transforming them from their classical works from Homer into movies and TV shows
Right.
and
The hero archetype and
yeah,
how that flows through storytelling. Yep.
yeah. I'm excited for that one.
All right. So besides, I guess, academic milestones, I've seen you with your incredible nail art.
Oh.
So can you tell us a little bit about yourself as an entrepreneur and maybe what you have I guess planned out, or what's in store, or what are you building towards as far as the cosmetic side of your personality?
Oh, I was just doing that because it costs a lot of money to get one set of nails done
Yeah.
instead of having to spend 200 on one set. Then I'll just spend 200 on supplies and do it myself because I'm also an artist. I'm an art major.
Yeah.
So it's that's basically what I did it for, just for myself and for just an outlet to do art because I usually do grayscale charcoal works and pretty big works as well.
Hmm.
So it takes a lot of time and a lot of dedication. But to do nails, it's just for fun.
Yeah.
It's not for literally anything else other than to do for fun and to do for my friends who like it. Um, so yeah, it's not really like a career plan, more or less. It's more like a hobby.
I got you. I got you. And so, as a studio arts associate recipient now, an art degree, and then I'm, art history major, art history minor. Is there a career path that you feel that U of H is preparing you for, or something you're preparing yourself for?
Yeah. I want to be a curator
Okay.
and and then go into conservation. So for my internship, I'm working with the head curator
Yep.
of the Blaffer Museum, Laura Augusta. Um, just had to make sure I said that.
Yeah. Yeah. Cheers to Laura.
And installation and registration. So pretty much all the people who work directly with the exhibitions.
Nice, nice. And I think in the intros we mentioned that you all are presently all Blaffer interns, and so we're really excited at the Blaffer Art Museum one because this is a new way we structured the internship. We usually have one or two interns, but to bring in a full team of interns and to have those interns work one on one, as you said, with Laura or with Skylar or with Kalyn, in different aspects of the museum and see the kind of, sort of how the inner workings all fit together. And I wonder if you could speak, and feel free to jump in, any one of you, speak about how the Blaffer Art Museum internship is kind of helping you prepare maybe for that next step in your career.
Mm, for me, I feel like it's directly contributing to my career plan because I do want to be a curator, so I'm working with the curator,
Hmm.
and they have told me that they are able to like after graduate, like next year,
Mm-hmm.
I'll be able to work with them to find a job that I feel fits me in my career.
And so, as far as the Blaffer internship goes, like in your outlook before you started, and now as you're sort of coming to the end of that commitment, do you feel that it was a positive experience for you, or in general, do you feel like it's preparing you for that next step, as you mentioned?
Yeah, it's wholly positive, I believe, for us interns. And they do a pretty they do a pretty good job at like taking time out of their day to help us. And even I know they're pretty busy as well, and this is a kind of a new thing, so taking time out of their day to help us learn what they do and understand what they do and what happens behind the scenes in a art museum. And it's pretty universal what happens behind the scenes in an art museum,
Mm-hmm.
so taking those things that they've taught us is pretty flexible to go to different art museums and do the same thing
Right,
and learn even more from them, and then just having that knowledge like grow.
right. Yeah, I love the way you put that, having that knowledge grow, but also like having an idea of making the effort to put yourself in a space to be challenged and a space to grow. And so, Bosola and Wura, both of you have been participating in BAMSA. Now you're high-ranking members of BAMSA, the Black Art Museum Student Association. I wonder if you could share a little outlook on BAMSA itself, but also maybe personally how the internship has helped you prepare for the next step. I know Kalyn, she's I guess more in the art, but for you all, like in medicine, pharmacy, and then in finance, how is how is an arts based or arts centered internship kind of helping you build steps personally for that next position for it in your career?
Um, so I'm in management information systems. So I would say it is a business side to it, and like in the art world, there is always going to be a business side.
Mm-hmm.
So when I work with Colleen, I work helping her. We all did it together. It was like we did a contract and like set up the whole contract to reach out to an artist
Mm-hmm.
or a performer who would want to come to the Blaffer. Like it was a mock contract, and those type of situations, I feel as though it could be related to my major. I could be in a field or a business where I would have to make contracts,
Right.
or she also does have a lot of information. So management information systems, I feel like it's a
Right.
good mix.
Yeah. Shout out to Colleen Maynard, business administrator at the Blaffer Art Museum. Amazing resource for everything Basola mentioned: contracts, business relationships, etc. But then, additionally, your work, you're studying contracts. How does that help you in a leadership role at BAMSA, and how is that helping to prepare you, for the next step, in your career?
So for BAMSA, I okay, let's see. For VAMS, I'm the director of operations, and what I essentially do, I help plan and like set up most of the events that we
Mm-hmm.
have. So we have the Red Block Bash, and that's essentially where we have like student vendors. They sell their artwork, they sell clothes, or we also have student organizations as well, and they also promote their own clubs. And it happens right outside the usually the little courtyard in front of the Blaffer Art Museum.
Mm-hmm.
And through that, I've learned that communication is very important.
Right. Communication is
Um,
key.
I always I tend to reach out to not organizations, businesses. So I remember I was able to get um most of the times we're able to get free food. I just sent a little paragraph saying, "Are you able to send us something?" And most of the time they do respond.
Mm-hmm.
And also we do have an end of the year events, and I was able to get most of our prizes for free as well. So what I've learned is that you should always like ask for something, and I believe this also helps me with my major because it's very communicate with a lot of people.
Right. And I guess from the outside perspective, you would assume most people in business school are doing business types of internships, but you've chosen to do an internship in the art world. Do you feel that's giving you an advantage as opposed to people who maybe stay in their ecosystem or in their echo chamber? And what type of advantages do you think that's building for you? You know, like learning how a museum operates, building relationships, uh, making those outreaches to other people to try to get needs met.
Yeah, I think there is an advantage, and I think it's most of the part is the advantage is community building.
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to meet a lot of different people with different goals through BIMSA as well as the Blaffer Museum.
Yeah.
So I see different people of different backgrounds and they're pursuing something unique, interesting, and it's very fun to learn about. So there is an advantage there, and I
Nice.
think rather than just staying in like a rigid corporate world of business or something, it's more fun to like branch out to different departments. Because as I mentioned before, MIS is palatable, so you can basically choose any like workforce, and someone will need us.
Right. Right. Yeah. Thanks for that perspective, Rua. Would you be able to share again? Blaffer internship. Any outlooks or sort of, and not recollections, but just sort of how is that helping you prepare for the next step? As a person who's on that pharmacy track, but also as Bosola mentioned, your work with BAMSA. How is that helping you? And like, if you could share a little bit about that experience.
Um, for pharmacy, I wouldn't say it like relates at all,
Mm-hmm.
but it I have the advantage of being in a leadership role
Yep.
and being able to communicate with people and like plan things effectively
Mm-hmm.
most of the time. Um, and for the internship, I'm working with the education team, which is the director, Catherine, and also Noelia. And mostly working with Noelia has helped me like create a plan to better plan our socials. So this semester, I plan to be more organized and I want everything to go well,
Right.
basically.
Right. Right.
And the way the Blaffer does like um, art activities is very like there's a formula to it,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's really effective. So I'm learning about lesson plans. I'm helping plan activities. I'm helping make examples, and it's really fun.
Right. Right. Yeah, Rura mentioned Catherine Veneman, who is the curator of education at the Blaffer Art Museum, and she created BAMSA, the Blaffer Art Museum Student Association, as a way to connect with the student environment at the museum. And BAMSA has been an incredible resource as touching all the points that you all have mentioned, but also creating that sort of bridge between the museum and the student body. Like it's a very very important relationship. And Noelia, she is supporting Catherine, but also doing her own work as far as you know helping bridge the gap between promoting the museum, helping bridge the gap between getting the word out, helping create exposure for the museum across a lot of different points as far as like producing flyers, making relationships, putting on workshops. And so just really want to give those two a big round of applause for the work that they've done. So I think now we can move on to discussing like more detail about the artworks. And so, as we mentioned, right now there's 3 exhibitions on view. A Way to Men, the group show created by Doug Welsh, Cuidado, the video installation, and the solo exhibition by Safe Azuz. And so, staying in line with that concept of new beginnings, and like as all 3 of you have expressed, what new beginnings mean for you from a career standpoint. I wonder, and feel free to jump in, whoever wants to go first. Is there a piece, or in general, for the exhibition, is there a piece that you want to select that's one that you feel made a connection to you as an art lover, as an art viewer? And secondly, what concept of new beginnings, how was it expressed in that particular object?
My favorite piece or like pieces is before there were so many walls
And what exhibition
in
is this
Safe
from?
Zeus upstairs,
Safe Zeus. Okay.
and liberties were taken, and it's the one in the room with the like really big canvas
Yep.
painting, and then a chain link fence and a bald eagle like created in the fence with plastic cups.
Mm-hmm.
And in the same room, he has like a, I guess, a description or not description, but like a little
Blurb. Yeah. Yeah.
about the Allen brothers
Yeah.
and how they advertised Houston is like um free, not free, but like good land to come for settlers and
Mm-hmm.
basically like colonize.
Right.
And people didn't realize that it's like it's all wetlands,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and now we
Hustling.
have flooding problems
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
everything. But I think the way he uses the two pieces together, like it basically like you can view them as one,
Yep.
and it's like the fence is blocking us from um, enjoying the land that was meant to be here.
Right.
And people saw it as a great new opportunity, a way to start their lives, but it was also like ending the lives of um, so many. Like it was, anyways, it was destroying the environment and disrupting ecosystems
Mm-hmm.
and creating problems for us in the future.
And when you say it, you meaning the colonial activities
Yes.
of the early settlers in Houston. You know, it was taking something that was, I guess, open and accessible, and it closed it off. Using, I think, with safe, using the concept of a fence, but also closing off access and creating, you know, I guess VIP access for certain people and cutting off access for the majority of people. I think he really safe really executed that well in that piece, and liberties were taken. Um, and there, do you want to speak about the first piece, the painting, the I guess the triptych, or is it just liberties were taken? That's the one you really want to focus on.
I think both,
Both,
like both together.
right? Both together.
They
Okay.
wouldn't be the same like if they were alone.
Right, right. Are there any additional thoughts you want to share, just maybe about the exhibition or those pieces? Not. I think you covered it really well, but sometimes, you know, that maybe something will come up as you're thinking about it, as you kind of reminisce back on how you on how the piece looks, or how it made you feel.
Mm, I think speaking on new beginnings, he also has a piece with like unbended hangers,
Hmm.
and like it's like a nest and there's acorns inside.
Right.
And a lot of his work was also about uh, controlled burnings
Hmm.
that the Native Americans do to like um, help the land and prevent like worse fires.
Right.
And acorns are like
Seedlings, seeds,
yes,
new beginnings. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they help promote new growth for other animals,
Hmm.
and I think they're really cute acorns.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And the acorns are also like beaded, and I think his mother did the beading.
Correct.
his
Correct.
his
And
wife made
Yep.
the hangers
oh,
exhibition. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to that point, New Beginnings and Safe Zoo. So Safe is from a indigenous group in Northern California called the Yurok. His from and his mother's side and his father was from Libya, and so New Beginnings. You know, the his mother participated in the show, his partner participated in the show, and his daughters participated in the show in order to kind of create that familial, I guess, participation that is not just one artist's viewpoint. And to Riva's point about charcoal, participating in ritual burnings, the leftovers from those burnings were then used by Safe to create a drawing within the exhibition. So just again, that reincarnation of something that was burned, something that was used in a fire, like a ceremony or fire ritual, and then those pieces were transported to create an art piece by Safe and a new perspective, a new beginning within the exhibition. I thought that was a cool concept, something I wouldn't have thought about had I not, you know, seen it with my own eyes or known about it beforehand.
Yeah, and his son, his cousin, and his dad also participated in the show,
Okay.
and his sister-in-law, Lulu's sister,
Yeah.
has a book in our on our bookshelves as
Yeah,
well.
so that exhibition is a complete family affair.
Yeah.
Like everybody's involved, and I think that may be kind of a new perspective. A lot of times it's not a lot of times, but more times than not, it may be one artist's viewpoint, and this artist may be expressing inspiration from other people, but maybe rarely do so many other people participate in the making of work and in the exhibition, the displaying of the work, within the exhibition. So I think that's a really, really beautiful show. Safe Zoos, up through December 20th at the Blaffer. Yeah, Rura, thanks so much for sharing your perspective. Is there anything else you want to share?
Also, the Blaffer staff, including Kalyn,
Yeah.
yes, helped like
Yep.
make the mural that was made from the charcoal.
Okay.
Yes.
That's true. Yeah, he did ask around, and you did put your artistic skills to use, Kalyn. So that means you got to go next, as far as
Damn. Okay.
as far as you know. Obviously, stay within Safe's exhibition, but if you want to speak about anything else from the others, or it's no wrong answer. As far as, is there a piece within the present shows that you feel kind of expresses that idea of new beginnings?
Um, I chose the entirety of the A Way to Men by Doug Welsh, mostly because of his curatorial like idea behind it, which is to like, so all of the artists, like there's how many, 19 visual artists and 5 writers in
Yeah.
this show, who contribute to the idea of like embracing and processing um healing and transformation and repurposing like different ideas and adapting to new situations via these like subcategories that he has. So basically the whole show is about healing and transformation. Um and his inspiration was a dude named Forrest Bass. We have one of his pieces from the Menil collection
Right.
on loan to us in the show, which is I think is pretty cool. And we also have like documents and um like essays about Forrest Bass in our little library installation that we have in the show.
Mhm.
Um and I chose it because it has a direct effect on our topic of new beginnings. Um and yeah.
No,
That's
no,
it.
I feel you. That's a beautiful way. I love the way you express that. The exhibition in total, and I wonder if you could speak about reminding how the exhibition is helping to remind ourselves of how we build relationships, not only with other people, but our relationships with ourselves. What rituals or what, I guess, pathways we're going about, how we're going about helping to care for ourselves, right? How are we mending the broken thing? Not broken as in bad, but broken as in need reparation, either within ourselves or with other people, right? How do we go about doing that? Do you have maybe any thoughts about maybe how the exhibitions maybe helping you remind and maybe creating some new routines for you?
um I I enjoyed the I enjoyed the little like subtopics that he has
Hmm.
for each group of like pieces. Um so maybe categorizing my like philosophical beliefs or ways of healing myself in those topics is really like cleaning the mind like you do your guest room with all the clothes. So like having those subtopics like in place and like having a like just to have your mind organized that way for yourself and for your healing is pretty encouraging and supportive for oneself but also for others to be able to do that for themselves or for others by taking them to this show or just reading the brochure that has all of these like subsets and organization skills for you
Right.
is pretty helpful.
All right, right. Well, thanks so much for that perspective on Our Way to Men. That show is a very tender show in the best way. I think even the way the show is lit with a sort of like low sort of like reading light, you know, I guess tone. The
Yeah.
lights aren't very intimate. The lighting is very welcoming, very comforting, and that helps you kind of get into a mindset to appreciate the work, but also to your point, this idea of kind of slowing down, taking a breath, kind of healing from the inside, right, and using the artwork to sort of transport you to that place. Thanks again for sharing that. Bosola, do you want to share a piece from the shows about how New Beginnings is being expressed, the way you conceive of it?
Um, so I will also choose A Way to Men
Yeah.
by Doug Welsh. And I chose a specific piece rather
Okay.
than like the whole joint exhibition. And the piece that resonated with me the most was Benji Styles' Ball Function.
Okay.
And basically, it's a baseball, all wrapped with zip ties, and it's just hung on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea behind the piece is that usually when you see a baseball, it's like in use, and usually it's being used to play baseball mostly by men who play baseball.
Yeah. Right.
And essentially, this other baseball is hung in a museum. So instead, it's like talking about how you don't have to be confined to one type of things because you were born a certain way, or um it's a form of self-expression as well. And I think it relates back to new beginnings because just like how usually a ball or this baseball in specific is used to be played as a sport. It has a new beginning. It's in a museum. It's being used in a different way. So the reason why I resonated with it is because it like reminded me of school, and I was like, yeah, I'm in MIS, but I don't have to like go specifically into like a really scary business world. I can like stay in a museum background. I can go into like sports. I can go
Right.
into like what if a circus needed me? I don't know. Like I feel like that's why I resonated with this piece so much.
Right. I love the way you put that. I mean, the artist himself, using a baseball with zip ties, on the material standpoint is very simple. But you've just expressed how art can create this upward spiral for a viewer, right? So again, a baseball with zip ties has expresses to you a new beginning of you don't have to be confined to a use case someone is prescribing to you. And the actual object itself can be used, the object itself can be used in any type of way the artist wants, but the person themselves can't be defined even for a moment. Okay, you may have known me as this label before, but now I'm reinventing myself as a new label. And then you have to accept me in this new way. This baseball is used in a game with men to hit it with a stick and catch it in a leather glove. That's one way to conceive of a baseball, but I'm conceiving it as an artist in a new way. And as a viewer, I'm using that to create this trampoline to allow me to get to a new place of self-identification, self-care as a way to mend broken viewpoints or broken assessments of who I can be or what I'm allowed to be. So I think I didn't really expect that answer. And me personally, that object itself in the show, I've personally overlooked until this very conversation. I hadn't even really thought about it that way. So I've learned something by hearing your assessment of New Beginnings. And then when we go back to the museum, I'm definitely going to take a second look at the baseball and the zip ties. It's like, yeah, sure, go ahead, Wura.
I like to say this piece reminds me of the song "I Don't Dance" from High School Musical 2.
Okay, can you sing a little? Can you sing?
Oh,
At least like you don't have to sing. Maybe like just kind of like paraphrase the lyrics or how it goes for those of us who aren't familiar with High School Musical.
I don't dance. I know you can. Not a chance. And they're like on a baseball field,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
he's talking about how he doesn't dance because he's a baseball player. Yeah.
All right. So we got High School Musical
Two.
and High School Musical 2.
The
Yes.
best
And,
one.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
so I really want to give a shout out to Benji, right? Like who would have thought, maybe he did think about this, that this baseball and the zip ties is creating this whole new, a new movement, a new vibe, right? That's the beautiful part about art. It really is, the beauty's in the eye of the beholder, and that's a cliche, but it's really true, because one person creates or composes or compiles an object, and then it can really create a vessel for another person to get to another place of healing, of positivity. I think that's such a beautiful thing. I really learned a lot about reconsidering, use cases, reconsidering how you view yourself, and I think that really does get to new beginnings, right? The salad job, I want a new beginning. The clothes that had defined me, I don't want to be defined that way anymore. For yourself, Kalyn, as far as taking art and basically creating a script that I want to use art to write my own script. I don't want to be defined about maybe where you think I can be by the way I look or the neighborhood I come from. I'm creating my own pathway. And so, are there any other perspectives that you all want to share? Comes new beginnings, whether it comes to your career, whether it comes down to the exhibitions on view, before we wrap up our conversation for today.
Yeah, I mean, like for the Wait a Men shows, so every artist has a different way of healing themselves
Mm-hmm.
with these. Well, it's just one way to, it's just creating art, but there's a different mindset between each and every one of them. And like Forrest Best was a very troubled man.
Yeah.
But he did use his art as a form of healing and his writing as a form of healing. So that's basically what the whole show is basically about.
I love it.
So what you were saying, like every person has a different background, different perspective on how to, better themselves.
Yeah, I love it. Wura, any last thoughts on new beginnings? Something that we covered, something that you want to add to, some more perspective.
I'm really excited for the new exhibition. Well, like I don't know. Yeah,
Soledad. Yeah,
Soledad
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Salome.
yeah. It's
I'm
gonna be
really
fun.
excited to see hers. That's a new beginning.
Yes, Soledad Salome is on deck to open in October at the Blaffer Art Museum. And Bosola, you want to bring us home with any inspirational
Sing.
new beginnings or songs or anything?
Um, so hopefully, I want to stay for the Blaffer internship for the fall and spring. So hopefully, with the new exhibition coming, I get to actually use my installation skills that I learned from Skylar,
Yeah.
and I get to help install artwork. I'm really excited about this because I feel like I learned how to use SketchUp after 2 weeks, and now I just want to actually like install artwork or help him.
Yeah, I'm going to give let's give an applause for Skylar Shireman, the installation guru / genius. He really is a magician when it comes to putting things together and, helping artists conceive of their vision, bringing it into materiality, right?
Also, Young Min Chung.
Oh, yes.
Don't forget about her.
Yes, give a shout out to Young Min Chung.
Our head registrar.
Yes.
She gets everything delivered to us. Everything.
Yep.
She does basically everything. She gets the art from everyone who needs to bring it. She delivers it to the Blaffer. She makes sure nothing happens to it. She makes sure insurance is done and secured, and everything is on top. Everybody's on top of everything.
Yep. Yep. Well, I really want to say thank you all for your perspective, for the time that you've contributed to BAMSA, contributed to the internship, contributed to the security team, contributed to the Blaffer Art Museum. It's helping us just become a more visible place, not only for U of A students, but a more visible place, in the city, in the nation, and abroad. And so, thank you again for joining on our first podcast. And I know we're going to have a bright future, and so we'll always be able to go back to this recording and listen and look back. And I'm sure we're going to have at least all of you together, at least at some point. I'm sure you'll come back and be able to share your perspective. But again, thanks so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. And Blaffer really appreciates it. All right, thanks.
Yay.
All right. If you enjoyed this episode of the Blaffer Courtyard and would like to support our work, To find out more about the museum, our visitor hours, upcoming events and exhibitions, please visit us at blafferartmuseum.org or follow us on Instagram at Blaffer Art Museum. You can also find our podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify by searching Blaffer Art Museum, and we hope you join us next time. Thanks.